I found this 1983 XLX 1000 Sportster behind a small car lot in northern Indiana, sitting in a storage shed in 4 inches of water. It was traded in for an old car and forgotten. Nobody knows how long it's been silent until now. I'm old school, and this is Vintage Harleys Revive. I have found another old Harley that I am ready to go and purchase. It's a 1982 Sportster. It's pink. It's sitting in a barn. It does not run. It looks not terrible. Why don't you come along with me and let's see what we can find out. Back in '83, this was a black XLX. Solo seat, small front fender, silver engine cases, and dual discs up front. A simple, stripped-down Harley built for the road. Now it's purple with a mismatched Mikuni carb and more questions than answers. They didn't even bother to sell it. They just left it there. But I knew it still had something left. There it is, we got it bought. We're gonna head home and put it in the garage. At first, I wasn't sure. But some bikes, they just deserve another shot. So I brought it home. No promises, just the idea that it shouldn't stay silent. Well, we've come this far and we found out a lot already. I was able to break at least a few of the clutch plates free by hand. We see many wiring problems here. There's melted wires to the coil. There's melted wires on the back going towards the tail light. Stripped and melted. The connections on the battery are bad. But all in all, this is the story of the bike right here. And here's the story that I see in this bike. This peg is in terrible condition. And this shift peg shows that it was wore out from somebody's foot sitting on it for, it says it has 22,000 miles on it. It's not underneath, it's on top. So somebody's foot sat on it like this, and these pegs show the wear, the actual wear of the bike, and the corrosion that this bike has dealt with. And that coupled with this corrosion that was probably under the seat, this bike sat outside likely for a long time or in a place that was very, very moist, okay? There's also rust right here and rust on the tops of the heads here where moisture would sit. So it tells me that very possibly this bike sat outside for some period of time. Somebody rescued it, put a new seat on it, and painted it purple. And I think it wasn't ridden long after it was painted purple. Somebody put a Mikuni carburetor on it, and this green coil, which is a high output coil, and these SL plug wires, and all of that together tells me they were trying to get more speed out of the motorcycle. So that's my story of the motorcycle. We went all the way around it, and that's my take on it. Let's see if we can get this thing to run. Everything in this thing is just jacked. Let's just put power to it, turn the key on, and see what melts. So we've got melted coil wires, but they seem to be intact. We've got a little bit of a loose coil wire, we'll take care of that. Bad end on the negative battery cable, but I've got a good tight connection here. So let's turn the key on, let's see what happens. If it catches fire, let me know. So far, so good. If you're into real garage revivals, the kind that start rough and fight back, consider subscribing. I've got more of these coming. points cover was missing. The wiring was burned up. The Mikuni carb install was rough. New battery cables in, which it should be easier than it actually is. It's really not very easy. Just gotta be patient. You can get it done. So this is like some kind of house wire or something that's been adapted here. I don't want to do a lot of work before I make sure this thing runs and rides, but I've got this wire end to do, and I've got this purple wire, which looks like it's coming off this ignition module, which is loose in the bike. Okay, it comes down here and it goes down in there into the ignition module. I think this is ground. Let's look in the service manual and figure it out before we try to start it. And then we're like, what's the matter? It doesn't work. So we got the electronic module. We're looking for purple, which is violet. If we follow this up, across here, over to here, down to here, there is a vacuum switch in this bike that goes to ground. So when I got this bike, the guy told me it didn't have any spark. It's because the vacuum switch isn't. I don't know why it had spark when I went and did the spark test, but I know that I'm gonna ground that because the vacuum switch is gone. When they put this Mikuni on, I imagine they took it off there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it directly at ground. And what that does is eliminates the problem that many of us have with these old bikes, which is that the vacuum switch has become unreliable. So the reliable way is to eliminate the vacuum switch and run that purple wire directly to ground, and then it will always have spark. I'm worried with that purple wire on that electronic module not hooked up to ground. And I did have spark the first time I tested it, but the module's loose. I tightened the module up. I hooked that purple wire to ground. So I want to double check, make sure we still got spark. Good to go. I'm gonna lower the oil level. It's clear at the top. And this thing's likely gonna sump when I go to crank it up. So I'm gonna lower it down to the bottom of the dipstick. And also then, take this head bolt out of this drain and put it over here onto this nub where it's supposed to be. where we want it. If you didn't see the 2003 Sportster that we revived, it had been sitting for 10 years. This bike smells the same. Ooh. This bike's been sitting a long time. This tells all the story right here. It really does. Completely clogged. It is partially open. That's open. All right, we're going back together. It's good. I really am, man. Right at this point, I have got to slow down because I am geared up, ready to go. And it is a perfect time to screw something up, man. It really is. I checked the compression, repaired the battery connections, replaced the battery, repaired all the melted and stripped wiring, cranked it over, and then how good is that? I mean, how good is that? I mean, I was totally hyped up, psyched. Wow. It's just flipping amazing. Let's get it ready to ride. It's not pretty, but it runs. That's a start. Some bikes get built and pampered. Others get left behind. But today, this bike lives. It runs great. We're going to go ahead and do the work to it. I'll see you next time on Vintage Harleys Revive. Next time, we put it back the way it was meant to be.